Hey everyone, Brett here with another episode of Brett's Brain. Today, I'm going to give you 8 tips that are going to make any mentor meeting for an entrepreneur go flawlessly. Hey, I'm Brett Brohl, former entrepreneur, current venture capitalist. Thanks so much for checking out this channel. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, and ask us questions if you want us to answer anything for you in the future. We're doing this to try and help entrepreneurs succeed. That's our goal. All right. Lots of mentor meetings and advisor meetings happen out there in the entrepreneurial world. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't really go so well. Well, I've done a lot of mentoring myself, and I've been mentored a lot myself. And I've got 8 tips, 8 steps for you as an entrepreneur that you should use to drive your mentor meetings and get the most out of them. Because they take a lot of time, and they're not worth doing if you don't get value. All right, number 1, research who you're meeting with ahead of time. Do your research. Understand their backgrounds. Just because their current title is at a bank and they're VP doesn't mean they don't have crazy cool experience before that. You never know what a mentor's experience, the totality of a mentor's experience. So do your research up front. Number 2, tell your founder story. It's a great way to draw mentors in. Make sure they understand why you're building this company. People love that personal connection. They love it when you make it personal. You want to pull on heartstrings. You want to get them attached. You want them to buy into what you're doing. And honestly, most mentors aren't buying in because they love your product or they love your idea or they love your concept. They want to help you as a person. And when you tell your founder story, it draws them in because that's the cool part of entrepreneurship is those stories. That part of it just makes people feel great. People want to help. Mentors want to help. That's why they do it. So tell your founder story. Number 3, set expectations for what you want to get out of the meeting. Be prepared, come up front and be ready to go. Set expectations. Otherwise, mentors are curious people. They're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. They're going to take you down tangents that you might not want to go down or you might not need help on at this moment in time. You might have a 30-minute session, and I've been in a bunch of these myself where I take people down tangents for 30 minutes, and I'm pretty sure the entrepreneurs didn't get anything out of it because I was just curious. You set the agenda as the founder. Make sure you're getting out of it what you want to get out of it. And then you can reference that back if you ever start going, like later on in the meeting, you can say, hey, just like I said, can we get back to these couple of key things in a nice way to do it? All right, number 4, make sure you tell them what you do. It's a really important part of the process. So walk through, hey, here's what we do. Here's our product. Get them excited about it. You got to tell them what you do. The shorter you can do that in, the better. Founders tend to get really excited about the thing that they're building. And if you have a 30-minute mentor meeting, oftentimes you can take the vast majority of it walking through what you do. And what happens is you don't leave yourself enough time to get to the meat of the meeting, which is you getting advice. So can you do it in 2 minutes or 3 minutes? All right, number 5, ask clarifying questions. If you're going to only tell what you do in 2 minutes, the mentor might have a question or two. Get to them, proactively ask, hey, does it make sense what we do? See what they have to say. Now keep the train on the track and always refer back to what you need and what you want to get out of the meeting, but don't forget to ask questions. All right, number 6, now you're going to get to the meat of it. Refer back to what you want to get out of the meeting, start asking those questions, walk through it, and hopefully a whole lot of good advice and mentorship comes out of it. That's the meat. Number 7 is the close. And this is actually really important. Don't poo-poo the close. Save yourself enough time at the end of the meeting. And the most important thing you can do in the close after thanking them for their time is remind them of whatever promises they made in the session. So if they said, hey, like based on what you're doing, you should really meet Steph. Remind them like, hey, Mentor X, like really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Just as a reminder, you said you might be able to introduce me to Steph, and I'd love to have that connection. I'll follow up with you afterwards, but I just wanted to remind you of that. Is that cool? And so get them to reconfirm their willingness to make those introductions or do whatever it is they said they were going to do for you. And then last, and don't forget this last point, it's number 8. It's actually after the meeting. Follow up. Follow up with an email or a text or whatever, preferably an email, and say thank you. And remind them again of whatever promises they made. So you send an email, within 24 hours of the meeting, say, hey, thanks so much for your time yesterday, mentor. Just as a reminder, you said you might be able to make an introduction to Steph for me. I'm going to send you a forwardable email after this to help facilitate that introduction for me. Look for that. Be on the lookout for that. And thanks again. Would love to meet again in the future. That's it. That's 8 tips. If you do all of those, you're gonna get so much more out of your mentor meetings. They're gonna become so much more valuable. You're gonna wanna have as many as you possibly can. If you like this, make sure you subscribe, share it out, rate, review, do all those things. And if you have any questions that you want us to answer, make sure you ask.